So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. And if you have a block handy, if you happen to have a block, you can place it right behind your heart. I have it on kind of the longest way, and then try different ways. And ideally, some people like it long, some people like it wide. Everybody's a little different, but just have some support right behind your heart just to lean back a little bit. Then I can actually lean back and I'm still sitting really nice and tall. Um, Remove the flesh before you do that. And then if you have long limbs, you might want to put a pillow underneath you. And if you have shorter limbs, you might want to actually place something underneath your feet. So really make sure as much as you can to be in touch with our support, right? We want to be in touch with the support around us and then ground and get comfortable, right? Can I be a little more comfortable? That's always a good question to ask yourself. And then coming to stillness, either closing your eyes or looking down, welcoming yourself to this quick lunchtime chair yoga practice. I'll ring the bell 3 times to bring us into this moment with your body. First, notice your surroundings. Any noises, distractions. Notice the temperature in the room, the space in the room. How does your skin feel against this temperature and the clothing? And start to notice your normal, spontaneous breath. Not changing the breath, just noticing how clear is each nostril. Am I breathing shallow, long, short, quick, deep? And where am I being supported by the earth? Under your feet, under your butt cheeks, the back body. Feel the support of the earth. Body has weight. Body is supported by the earth. Body breathes. And with every inhale, just sitting just a little taller. And with every exhale, relax the shoulders just a little more. Can you relax your cheeks, forehead, jaw, tongue? You even have a sense of relaxing your nose and your ears, back of your head, side of your head, top of your head. Just taking 3 breaths here. Fully arriving. We'll bring the hands to the heart, bringing the left and the right together, rubbing, creating some heat. Still feeling and connecting with your feet. And then placing those hands to the heart, sealing our intention, bowing to your heart. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Namaste. The greatest and truest meaning of Om Namah Shivaya. Thanking the land, thanking our ancestors, and thanking all the teachers, all our collective teachers that brought us to this moment. Taking a deep breath and just setting a simple intention for the next couple hours. What would help support you in the next couple hours, in the middle of your workday, middle of your day? Taking a deep breath and relaxing and just brushing those hands down to your belly a couple times. Remove the block if you have one behind you. And we're just going to brush down our chest and kind of using your whole body. Yeah, make some space, make some room, soften the belly. Can we soften the belly a little bit? And then we're going to brush down one arm. So I want you to use your whole body to brush. We're just going to move some chi away from the head and away from the center of our body, which helps pump blood and helps us breathe into our lungs and helps digest food, but just bringing some energy into our limbs. And then the other side, if you didn't switch already, just whole body brushing. You might already know if there's a part of your body that needs a little more or less attention. So the more attention, most likely. The parts that need less attention are we're probably not as aware of. And then we're going to start with a seated fold. So I'm going to bring my knees a little wider and I'm going to bring my forearms down to my thighs. So I really want to feel into this into this fold because first we're lengthening the spine. So I want you to look down and find space in the back of your neck. So I just want you to hang out here for a minute and then I want you to engage the feet. So just kind of push the toes into the earth here. And I just have my hands clasped, but you're welcome to just have your hands and wrists in any way that feels comfortable. And then I might just come down a little further, whatever's comfortable for your belly and your body. Notice if your heels are lifted, you might want to put something underneath them, right? Sometimes we push into the toes when our heels lift. So just taking a couple more breaths here. It's really giving our back, our spine a break for a moment. Feeling and noticing. And at any time, if that's too much, place your hands on your thighs and sit back up. But make sure to put your hands on your thighs first and then sitting back up. If that's fine and you're like, I could go deeper, we might actually round the spine and bring our hands all the way to the floor and let our eyes gaze to the back of the chair. So just kind of notice where you're at today. Taking a couple more breaths. And if you're there with me, you're going to bring your hands back to your thighs and you're going to use the strength of your arms to push back up. So I'll just demonstrate that one more time. Here, I'll do the side view here. So if I'm on the side here, let's say I'm typing, I'm doing some stuff on the computer and my low back might be a little sore. I'm going to actually come down. You can see that there's length in the spine here, right? So it's straight. It's not rounded. And then I might come a little deeper. I'm still kind of like that half lift when we're standing. And then I round if I come all the way down. So every motion, and then I bring my hands back to my thighs and push myself up. Every motion is helping that back release, right? Because when we're here, we're putting a lot of weight, especially on our low back. So sitting and standing, right? So we're always trying to see how can we release the low back and actually everything, but there's a lot of low back pain in the world. So let's come back to I'm gonna just come back to center. You can stay where you are. All right. And then we're gonna just do a little bit of a warm up, a little bit of side bend and a twist. We wanna move the spine in all directions. So how many directions is that? Most likely 6. Side to side, front, back, and then a twist. So front, forward fold. We just did a forward fold. So we just did this one. And now we're going to come back up and we're going to do a back bend. So That back bend could just be hands stay on your thighs, and then you're going to look up, arch the back slightly. Or if you have it available with your chair, you're going to bring your hands to the bottom of the chair, and you're going to squeeze the scapulas, the backs, upper back body. You're going to squeeze them together and look up here, relaxing the jaw. And you might even go a little deeper depending on your mobility and your chair that you're using. Relaxing the face. Good place to open up the mouth, stick out your tongue. Ha! Give you a little relaxation in the jaw. And then coming back to center. We'll keep the knees wide. For some people, that's comfortable. So I'm going to come to the tip of my chair. So I'm going to scooch a little bit to the tip of my chair now. I'm back to center. And I'm at the edge of my chair here. And my knees are still wide. And I'm going to come to a side bend like this. So I want to bring a little space here. Right. So I'm going to come here. And then I might leave my hand on the top of the shoulder. Might come up or over. So it really just depends on your body. But now I want those sit bones engaged. So the bottom, you can think of your butt engaged, right? So they're not, I don't want one cheek lifting. I don't want one cheek lifting. So if that's the case, you might dial it back a little bit. You might go here, right? So it kind of depends on your body. And you can always touch the floor if you'd like a little deeper stretch here. You don't have to. So kind of notice option 1, hand to the shoulder, option 2, arm up or over, and then option 3, maybe that lower hand comes down. Maybe it doesn't. And then bring ourselves a little tiny smile. Thank you, body. Thank you, side body. I just think of a moon, a quarter moon, you know, when I'm doing these like waning and waxing moons. One more breath. And then while we're here, let's bring the top of the hand to the shoulder and we're going to circle. We're going to circle in each direction. Let's do about 3 times. If you want, close your eyes. Feel what's happening. What is happening? What's happening, shoulder? Hello. I love you. Thanks for helping me move. And then we're going to come back to center. And yeah, let's just shake it out a little bit before we do the other side. So you can actually stand up and shake it out for a second, or you can just shake it out in your seat. So just notice, for me, when I'm sitting too long, I just get tight. So I need to stand up for a minute and then I'm good, right? All right. So other side, we're going to bring that forearm down and we're going to see option 1, shoulder, option 2, up and over, or that lower hand gets down. And this one's just pretty much touching the tips of the floor. So you decide. It's really, again, close the eyes if that helps you get more in touch with your body. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. Some people it disassociates, right? We disassociate from our body sometimes when we close our eyes, and for others, we get more in touch. So just notice who and where you're at today. Just a couple more breaths. And then that top hand comes to the shoulder, and we're going to circle about 3 times in each direction, really relaxing the head and neck. Engaging the feet, they're not passive, right? So the legs are engaged here. And coming back to center. And just pause for a moment, either looking down or close your eyes. Let's just take 3 breaths. Imagine you're in mountain pose, but this is seated mountain. You can bring your knees a little closer together. This would be the more traditional seated mountain pose. You can leave the knees wide if that's comfortable. I'm just noticing sensation. Is there anything different about my body now than there was 5 or 10 minutes ago? And then we'll do a twist. So option 1 is just going to bring that, I'm going to mirror you. So right hand comes to the low part of the chair or the upper part, depending on what's comfortable for your shoulder. And then first, my gaze is going to be the first thing to come across. So I'm still sitting nice and tall. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to exhale. Gaze is looking all the way to the right, all the way to my right shoulder. And then the left hand might come over, cross over the right thigh. And then I might engage in the twist a little deeper, bringing the hand to the top of the chair. looking behind me. I'm still lengthening the spine with every inhale, and with every exhale, I'm twisting a little deeper. So taking a few breaths here and untwisting if it's uncomfortable at all. Sometimes if we don't twist for a long period of time, it can be a little crampy in our side body. Inhale, exhale, untwist, coming back to center. And let's just pause for a moment. Just notice. What do you notice about your body? Just answer to yourself. And another thing I like to do sometimes when I'm asking that is I actually picture myself outside my body looking at myself. So you can picture another version of you looking at you and saying, oh, yeah, I'm feeling a little tight on this side, or that tight side feels a little looser. Take an inhale, exhale to the other side. So again, lower part of the chair or upper part. And then first the gaze looks over to the left, then the left shoulder, then behind you, and then decide, does that right hand want to come over to the left thigh? And then engage in that twist just a little deeper. About 3 breaths here with every inhale lengthening, and with every exhale twisting a little further over to the left. Relaxing the face, just doing your best wherever you're at. Wherever you're at is perfect because you are listening to your body. One more breath. And then coming back to center. And let's just interlace the hands for a moment. Just bring them out in front of us. And then imagine your shoulders are pushing back into a wall. Take a big breath, inhale and exhale, release them down. So that's option 1. Okay, just coming up. Just imagine those wrists pushing out and then shoulders back and then down. And then option 2 is inhaling, bringing them all the way up over your head. I'm going to look forward, and then I'm going to cup my occiput, so right at the cranial base, and then I'm going to lean back, opening the armpits, opening elbows, opening. That's option 2. So pick the option that works for you. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. Relaxing the face. And then coming back to seated, and notice, where is there sensation? Where is there no sensation? Really taking that pause. Often when we think of coming to movement classes, we move the whole time, and that is important. And then it's also important to bring in the yin, bring in the quiet, bring in the stillness. Right? The yang is the movement, the heat. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do a version of Warrior 1 with the chair. So you're going to either do Warrior 1 standing if you have that in your practice, and I'm going to show you a different version. Okay. So I'll just show you from the side here. So this chair works with us. Not all chairs will. Okay. So my foot is still on the ground here. Okay. And I'm going to hold the back of the chair, and then I'm going to drop. I'm sorry, we're doing a low lunge, not Warrior 1. So my heels lifted here, and I'm holding the chair here, and now I'm in a seated lunge. I'm going to back up just a bit so you can see my foot. Yeah, there we go. And if for some reason your foot raises, my foot is raising just a bit, you could also put a block here, and you're going to put your foot on the block. And now actually I'm a lot more stable. Even though I could do it without the block, this is really nice and comfortable. And then with this other hand, I can just kind of reach it up, or I can just bring it out and back. Just anything to not collapse my shoulders, right? I don't want to collapse the shoulders forward. I want them open. I want my heart open. So just kind of notice. We'll just be here for 2 more breaths. This does take a lot of strength. Sometimes you could also put a block underneath the knee. So notice if you want to actually grab the other block, and then you're going to put your knee is going to be on that block. So now I'm using the blocks for support. Now I could be in here for 10 minutes. right? Now that I have that support. So where is your support? Optional, right? I'm opening the psoas here. I'm getting a nice hip opener, hip extension, sorry. I'm gonna do one more breath, and then I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna come back to center. So I'm gonna move the blocks and come back. And you can either shake it out from the chair or stand and shake it out. So again, you decide, do I need a little shake? Sometimes stuff gets really stuck all right here in our pelvis, our femur bones lifting in the pelvis. We're using our hips to walk, right? We're walking all the time. There's tightness. So this is a way we can kind of open stuff up. And then if you have the blocks, I want you to use them just like we just did, okay? So one block is gonna be here for the knee, okay? And then the other block is gonna be for the front foot. So this is just a nice variation. So I'm gonna first come to the side of my chair. Again, this doesn't work for all chairs, so just do your best. I'm gonna bring the top of my foot to this block, knees on the other block, back heel is lifted. And then I'm gonna, it's optional to hold onto the chair. This feels more supportive like this. And then notice, can I change something? Can I get a little more comfortable? And then maybe one arm comes up or both arms, right? Relax the shoulders, heart lifts up, looking up if it's available, relax the face. And we'll just take another couple breaths here. And then release. Just notice how different this side was than the other side, right? And again, you can always do the standing. If you don't have a chair that works, I should have done this on the other side, but obviously the standing version is like this, okay? Maybe it's not obvious, but hips square to the front of our imaginary mat, back heels lifted. So you could just do a high lunge on each side if you didn't get to fully do that with the chair you're in right now. So everybody's chairs are different. We're not in a class live together, so things change, okay? And if you have those blocks, I want you to put them right where your feet would be, okay? So I want them right underneath where your feet are. You're gonna put your feet on top of the blocks. So for me, because, I'm not super tall, my knees aren't going above my pelvis. That's what I want. If I was like this, that would be too high, but that would be a version of squat. So if that's, you can also, I wasn't going to show that, but now that I said that, I'm putting them at the highest heights here. And then this is a version of squat, just like you have your squatty potties, which if you don't know, and if you don't have one, you might want to invest in one. Really good for pelvic health. So this is just a version of that, okay? But I digress. Let's come back to putting those blocks down. My feet are on there, and we're going to do a figure four or a version of pigeon. So we're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh. So if you don't have something, you don't have to have something underneath that left foot, but this feels supportive to me, right? So just notice you can also just put a book, a very firm book, some kind of support. And if this is intense enough for you on the outside of the hip, right? So we're feeling it here mostly. And then where the IT band is, right? Our quads are in front, IT band on the side. And we're going to just pause here, or you're going to lean forward just slightly. For me, that's pretty much enough right here. This feels like a really nice stretch for me. So I'm just going to hang out here for like 3 breaths. I'm flexing these top toes. Okay, these top toes are flexed. And you can always adjust, right? You can kind of push this thigh away. You can bring it closer. I'm looking down. I'm breathing. Doing your best. And then come back to your seat if you're leaning down. So that's optional to lean forward. So you're going to come back up, and then you're going to gently, lovingly place this leg down. You're going to say, thank you, foot. Thank you, leg. I love you. Until next time. And then you're going to pause for a moment. Just even one breath can do it. So let's all sigh together. And then the other foot. And I've done it in other videos. If this isn't available, I have to, honestly, I want you to comment or message me and I'll show you some other variations. But this is just the variation we're doing today. Because a lot of people actually find this difficult, right? Just this alone can be very difficult. And there are other variations I'm not going to go into at this moment. So how different is this side? It's pretty different. So just noticing. And then again, if you want, leaning forward just a bit, top toes are flexed. Taking a couple breaths. If you're leaning forward, lean back. And again, lovingly put this foot down. Thank you, leg. I super appreciate you. And let's just kind of rub our legs a little bit. Thank you. I love you, even though it's complicated sometimes. I really do appreciate you for holding my body up. And I acknowledge that it's a privilege, honestly. A lot of people actually don't have legs, right? So just thank you, leg. And then I'm going to move these blocks aside and I'm going to come to some kind of stable position for our Shavasana. So just notice if there's any movement you need before coming to stillness. Is there any unwinding that needs to naturally happen, right? In your spine, your upper body, your head and neck. We didn't really do a whole bunch for the head and neck today. Just kind of notice. Yeah, giving yourself a hug is always nice. Squeezing. Thank you, body. And then if you have a nice thick pillow, I invite you to actually place it behind you if you have. So you can notice I don't have a whole lot of space for my butt, but my back is going to be supported. And that's more important for me if I'm going to be doing a seated meditation. I'm just going to adjust this. So now I can still kind of lean back, right, in this comfortable space and close the eyes or look down. Body has weight. Body is supported by the earth. Body breathes. What parts of your body are touching the earth and fully being supported? Let's take a deeper breath and a long exhale. If you can, in and out through your nose. But if your nose is clogged at all, then feel free to open the mouth and have a long exhale. And do that 2 more times. So really deep inhale and a long exhale. And after that third breath, just coming back to your normal spontaneous breath. Still with the eyes closed or with a soft gaze, just reflecting on what your intention was, if you had one at the beginning of the session, or if something new arose for you today, some of your own body wisdom. Our bodies have so much wisdom, and this is a little half-hour check-in with your amazing, beautiful, complexly beautiful body. I'll ring the bell one final time to bring us back into this moment. Please bring your hands together in front of your third eye, your forehead, as a reminder of clear thinking, to your lips as a reminder of clear speaking, and to your heart as a reminder of clear intentions, inner peace, love, joy, justice, and healing to all. Namaste. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for joining me on this little mini practice.